All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 52nd episode of Trollin HGC, a Heroes of the Storm podcast focused on esports and a member of the Trolls.gg entertainment empire. That's what we're going to call it, right?
The Empire.
The Empire.
Yeah, we need some Stormtrooper music.
I'm your host, Goon, and with me, as always, Bahgz. How you doing, dude?
What's going on, man? I'm happy to be here. We're down LiQuiuD.
First
it's a little bit of a
show,
bummer.
yeah, first show without Dad. You know, like
We're all grown up.
Yeah. We're just gonna spread our wings and fly. Try something out here, right?
So I think we're in the bachelor pad stage of our lives. Is that what it is?
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
But no, it's nice. I'm glad to be here. Happy to be here. It's like Dante's Inferno sticky out here right now. A storm rolled through, but instead of like clearing up the humidity, it just made it worse.
Made it worse. Yeah. So usually here in Flagstaff we get summer monsoon. It's like during the summer it's like monsoon season, right? Every afternoon It starts thunderstorming for a couple hours and it passes and it's nice and fresh outside. It's been doing that every day this week except for today, and a lot of that moisture now is kind of like lingering. Like it doesn't reset. It's getting a little hot, a little muggy now. I need it to rain today. I need it to rain. It's hot in here. And if you've ever been to Flagstaff, you know that usually it's pretty cool during the summer times. Typically, the highest it'll get is like in the 80s, but it's
wow.
but it's 90s. And there's like not a home in Flagstaff that has air conditioning unless you installed it yourself. Everything here is pretty, it's just you open up a window and that's about it. But anyways, Bahgz, tell us about the Patreon. What's going on?
Well, over at the Trolls.gg website, you can find a link to patreon.com/trolls.gg. If you're enjoying our content, you like what you hear, consider becoming a patron of the Trolls.gg network. We're a group of hobbyists producing content for the community, and every dollar donated goes in helping us create more. You can donate $1 a month or more. We have several reward tiers to choose from, and you can pick the best option that fits your budget. Now, as we progress, we'll unlock more content, and currently, we actually just recently hit our second tier goal, which is at $75. We have a coaching tier. Now, once a month, Goon or Aramis will they're going to stream 2 of our war chiefs coaching sessions for over an hour, which will just provide extra coaching content to help level up the Heroes community. So, yeah, I guess you've got that to look forward to, Goon. You've got some coaching coming up for you.
Yeah. We'll get in touch with the war chiefs and set some stuff up, do it on stream, and flame their play. That's what we're gonna do. Do it on stream.
So I also, while we're here, I want to give a big shout out to Super Dave. I don't know if you're listening live right now, Super, but thanks for upping your patronage. You've brought us over the top. So you've went from chieftain to war chief. So appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Right on. Thank you. Yeah. To anyone, even if you don't donate via Patreon, if you watch the show, listen to the show, whatever, we greatly appreciate you coming out, hanging out, and being a part of this with us. Also, if you can't donate, don't want to donate, whatever, share with a friend. Share the podcast with somebody you know, with some people you know, if they're if they like Here's the Storm eSports. Share it. Let them know what's up, and this is where all the spicy stuff happens. These are where all the hot takes happen, and they're not gonna get anything like this anywhere else. I guarantee it, or your money back. Wait, you're not spending money, right? You're just sharing it. I'm just kidding. All right, cool. So let's. Do we have any news to cover? I did hear something today, real quick. I remember last week we talked about that player that got banned from HGC in China or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the clip, but
did you hear? I did not. So you're gonna have to fill me in here.
So apparently, he had gone to the studio. Got on the stage, had a knife on him, and threatened the other team with the knife.
Wait, I thought stuff like this happened in, like, no offense, but like Russia, not like China. I thought things were a lot more peaceful over there. You know, like.
Oh man.
What? He went on with a. So Uncle G went onto the stage with a knife, and was like, "Yo, you gonna get it if you don't throw the night's match." Is that like basically the gist of it?
I don't know. I just know he had a knife, threatened him. He's done. That's the end of that. So.
No kidding. All right. Well.
Wild.
Yeah. What a short esports career, huh?
Well, I mean, probably any career. He's probably going to have a hard time getting or finding a career, any other career after that. But
no doubt.
But yeah.
Oh, the other thing we should mention, because now it's official, is Swoy is you might have more information on this, but Swoy is coaching Tempo Storm.
That's right. So there was an article that Tempo Storm had released earlier this week or late last week? I can't remember. I'm sorry. What's today? Today's Tuesday, so it was last week, late last week. My days are all over the place right now. But they pretty much kind of talked about what their thinking was regarding the whole Swoy situation, what was going on. Pretty much because he's not able to participate as a player this phase. What they decided to do is make him Tempo Storm's coach, which means Kala, who was the previous Tempo Storm coach, was gonna go somewhere else, and what they ended up doing was moving him to be the manager of Tempo Storm, managing their schedules, probably other administrative things as far as the players are concerned, maybe paychecks and stuff like that. I don't know what that entails specifically as far as Kala's concerned, but that's what Kala's doing now. Swoy's the coach, and I'm pretty sure what's going to end up happening is that the next phase he will be moved from the coaching position to be a player. But
I think everyone sees this as kind of like a workaround for like an in the meantime type thing. It's also convenient for them because it kind of helps him start synergizing and like getting him on the same page with the team for next year.
Agreed. Learns English.
So it's right. There's a lot of building block foundations that he won't have to learn on the fly while trying to compete with the team as much, where it kind of puts him in a role where he's still going to have to do a lot of work, but comms aren't as important, just kind of synergizing in-game coordination, stuff like that is not going to have to happen in a live environment. It can happen in kind of like in the background, while also coaching the team. So it's kind of cool in that respect. In the article, they don't announce who their fifth player is, right? Which is what everyone thought it was going to be about originally.
Right. They don't officially say Vin is our fifth player. They just say, hey, Vin is here. He's playing. Like, he's just there, right now. And they appreciate him being there. But, yeah.
Now, Kala came out on Twitter. I remember this because Prismat said something smart.
Anyways,
and about it, and Kala came out and defended himself, implying that this is something he wanted. He wanted to go to the managing role. Now, do you think it's because of the amount of hours that go into coaching? I don't think he actually said specifically what it was. I think he just said that he was happy with the move and it's something he wanted. Do you think it's because his content creating is making him more and more money because he's building that network and he's doing a great job? You think that's because that's just kind of overtaking his coaching priority and his, for him?
I mean, for a lot of what I'm going to say here is based off of my personal experience as somebody that used to coach an amateur team, open division team that's currently in open division right now. He does spend a lot of time creating his own content, streaming, engaging with the community, doing those things, and that stuff is fun. It's really fun. You get to do something that you're good at. For him, it's coaching, and the amount of hours involved in scrimming, 6 to 8 hours a day of playing HOTS against other teams, practicing, and then also on top of that, who knows how many other hours watching the team's VODs from practices, from HGC matches, watching VODs from other HGC teams and other HGC regions from different tournaments. That takes a lot of time, and sometimes at the end of the day, after spending that much time, the last thing you want to do is boot up HOTS to play on stream for another 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And he did it, which is great. But I think now that he's not in that main coach role anymore for Tempo Storm, it allows him to really have fun with what it was that he enjoys, that he was loving, and that's the community stuff. And honestly, I think he's really, really, really good at the whole community aspect of things. And in my opinion, I feel that if we kept him locked up behind the scrim vaults, the larger community will be missing out on a lot of the great things he has to offer. So I think this is good. I think this is good overall. He's happy. The community's happy. Tempo Storm, the organization, is happy for the time being. Yeah.
Okay, good. I agree. I think it's a good move for everyone involved. It's a win-win. The only losers are North America, the rest of NA, right?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe next season they'll pull somebody else. Some other team will pull somebody out of a hat, and oh, by the way, this guy is now playing. Or I don't know. But it's interesting. So real quick before we keep moving, would you like to see more of this happening in North America, any region? Well, like what if Fan decides to move to Korea, spend 6 months playing Hero League, grinding out there, and he gets picked up by a team out there? Like, do you think that's viable? Do you think that could be viable? Or I'm just using Fan as an example. It could be anything, anybody. He could go to Europe for all I know. I mean, whatever. Like, would you like to see more of that? Or is
I have I don't want to say it's controversial opinion on this matter, but it's certainly, I don't think it's the most popular opinion. I prefer, I'm okay with the strict region locking. I like that it's difficult for players to move. So I'm if it's like this where it's slow, where they have to wait 6 months and then before they can play in another major region, right? Like they have to take a 6-month hiatus before. Was it 6 months? And they have to apply for their visa 6 months before the season starts. So it's a minimum of 6 months off, half a split. It's in a minimum of a phase. I'm okay with that. I don't want to see it loosened up much more than this, though. It'd be cool to see Fan take a 6-month sabbatical, come back and play in Korea or EU. Using that example, yes, it would be cool. But I wouldn't like to see it looser, because I feel like the bigger orgs, more monies in North America, even though, and which ironically we're not the weakest, but we are the weaker of those three scenes of EU and
that's
and
debatable.
Korea.
That's debatable.
But there's more money here, at least in Heroes, and so you could see where, and it's certainly the competition's less stiff. So you could see where a situation where if the restrictions were really loosened, you'd have a lot of players coming in from other regions coming here for greener pastures, so to speak. And I don't know if that's something necessarily I want, because we all kind of enjoy watching, the professionals that are also our peers. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, whether it's true or not, there is a common fan theory that the StarCraft 2 esports scene was murdered because it was just a bunch of South Koreans that moved to NA and pushed all the North American players out. So it was just watching, South Koreans play South Koreans in NA. Not even in South Korea, the best of the best stayed in South Korea, but a lot of the guys that couldn't hack it there would come here and dominate over here. So it's there now. Whether that's true or not, I really don't know. I don't know if there's statistics to back that up, but I do know personally that I'd rather see, even if it's a little memey, like a team like the old Naventic kind of try and, I don't know, do what they can, right, against everyone else. I don't know how to explain it. I'd rather watch them than say Tempest come over here and body, most of North America.
Right. So the Hakuro, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, in chat says, I would not watch to root for an NA team consisting of all Koreans. You mean like half the Overwatch teams?
Yeah, like so, like that's a good example. Like so, in Overwatch League, the New York team is New York XL. They are the best team in Overwatch League, arguably. Not even that arguable. They dominated throughout the regular season, and like I don't even care for them because it's the old LW Blue team, and like I'd rather watch like the Houston Outlaws, which is made up of the core of I believe it's FN or GFE if I remember correctly, so, or like like just Western talent. So that's something that's more interesting to me, or I like seeing players like Agilities on the LA Valiant, find a lot of success. Or really, like 18, barely 18, kid hanging with the best of the best. So something like that is cool to me. But
yeah. What about with Wombo Boys? That's what it is, not Wombo Boys. What the hell? Wombo Boys says in chat, import slots. Like you have a couple slots on your team that are available for import players.
So the LCS does something that's very, very similar.
Right. LCS for League Championship Series, by the way, for those.
Yeah, yes. It's the League of Legends League does something that's very similar to what Major League Soccer does, where they have a restriction where you're allowed to import players, pay them buco bucks from a different region. Like it's, I think, what do they call it, David Beckham rule, when he came to the LA Galaxy years ago. You can only have so many players on your team. So that is something Guaz and I have gone back and forth about that on the Weekly Blizz. And we're both in agreement. Like something like that would probably be ideal for HGC because it would up the overall competitive bottom line of heroes and make all the teams more competitive. And really you get to watch top-notch heroes being played. But at the same time, you're still watching your peers kind of duke it out from your region.
Right.
So
what if
there is like a almost like a patriotism thing to it. Like there is a reason why. Like,
there's some pride. There's some pride associated with it, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So.
Yeah. I mean, but orgs want to make money. Esports is money. You know what I mean? Like, there's a balance that has to be achieved. What if, and this is the last question I'll ask about this topic because we're kind of rambling here. What if, let's say, an org like Tempo Storm during the off season decides to buy a slot in Korea from some players, and then they're like, hey, we own this spot, this HGC spot in Korea. I don't know if the rules allow this, but assuming it did, what if, would you be okay if Tempo Storm moves to Korea, buys a spot in Korea, and then moves whatever players they have in NA to Korea to play in the Korean circuit? It's the org's spot, so they can put the players in however they see fit, so that way they can compete at quote unquote the highest levels of play.
So essentially, if like Tempo Storm bought out Supernova or something like that, right?
G-Luck. Oh yeah, whatever. Right.
Or G-Luck. One of those teams, and then brought the actual squad that they currently have over there. Now I don't know how that would work for the rules and what it would be realistic or not. Would I be cool with that? Of them going over? I don't know. I don't know if I'd like that. And again, reason being, it's kind of right, so they're not playing at the North American Premier Hours, so I probably wouldn't watch about them.
Right.
I'd follow them loosely because the first 6 months that they're there, you don't know where they're going to stack up in the pecking order. Obviously behind Gen G, but where else are how do they compete with Tempest and Ballistics? That'd be interesting. But outside of that, after it lost its new shiny car luster, it'd probably be I don't care, and it'd be just another Korean team with North American players on it playing over there because they kind of be out of sight, out of mind type thing. You know what I mean? Playing at 5 a.m.
I mean, if you look at StarCraft now, there are some European, even North American players that are in Code S, GSL Code S, which is the highest level of StarCraft. They live in houses. I don't know if they live in quote unquote team house, but they're over there. They practice. They play on the ladder there, and they compete. Could be interesting. I'm sure I'd be interested to see what kind of growth a team that from a NA or EU what kind of growth they achieve by playing in that circuit over there. But I mean, just hey, I was just curious what you thought. But anyways, let's move on to some results here. So what's up, Bahgz? Tell me what's going on in the Heroes Global Championship circuit.
Well, I will say this. I want to give some kudos to LiQuiuD. I expected Blossom to win a game or two off of Tempest. That didn't happen at all. They lost 3-0. So I just want to give him some kudos. I was wrong. I really thought the new Blossom roster would be actually stronger than the previous one. Mary Day's back, right? Like, this is a team that was playing pretty darn well last split. So kudos to him. Tempest, we've got DirecTV Tempest on full blast right now. So I'm really excited, actually, looking ahead to next week for their matchup. I wanted to get too far ahead of us. But other than that, like, Korea is kind of bland, and it's been kind of bland all season. Like, if you go through the results of Korea, literally every single match, this is how black and white Korea is right now. Every single match in week 1 and week 3 were 3-0s. Then in week 2, it was only slightly better. 2 of the matches were 3-1s. The rest were 3-0s. The other 4.
Yeah, it's actually insane how, like, feast or famine it really is in Korea. Like, it's insane. I don't know if I'm having fun watching Korean games. And for me, that's hard to, like, admit because or hard to say because I've always enjoyed watching the Korean meta. The Korean games, they're always so fast and, like, interesting and back and forth from time to time. But over the past year, it's gotten a lot more one-sided, right? For certain teams. And it's a little boring to watch, man. It's a little boring to watch.
Now,
but
part of it's the schedule. Like, it's a shit.
Yeah.
Blossom should be doing better. Miracle is playing a little bit better, but they're also feasting on the bad teams. Like Supernova, Gluck, and Team Felice getting 3-0'd. Okay, I'm cool with it, But I was again, like I was saying before, I expected more from Blossom. Miracle's playing a lot better, but still, like, if it's Tempest, Genji, or Ballistics, it's like they're 3-0ing the other 5 teams in that region, and then, like, they haven't played each other yet, so that's part of it too. Like, Tempest played Ballistics, and that's it. Like, Genji hasn't played Ballistics yet. Genji hasn't played Tempest yet. So, like, some of those premier matchups we're still waiting on. Genji also plays Tempest this coming week, so, like, that's part of it.
But, like, even then, sometimes those matches are you're just like, well, what the hell? How come they just got 3-0'd? What happened?
Yeah.
Like, now we're seeing Cable Blossom. What or Cable 10. What happened? Like, I don't know. It's nowhere near as entertaining as NA, but we'll get to that.
Oh, NA, man, that's the Premier League right there.
Anyways, EU. Let's move on to EU. What? First of all, nothing surprised you out of Korea, right? Nothing surprised me. So
no.
Okay.
No, nothing too shocking. Europe. In Europe, the only thing I can say is that, like, I'm bummed, but not surprised that LiQuiuD couldn't take a map update with us.
Yeah. I agree.
And I think it's safe to say that New Team Expert, now sponsored by Method, is officially the second best team in Europe.
They look good.
Which is, like, I don't know how to, like, rate them on a power level. Like, are they playing better? Because it's the exact same roster as Phase 2 last year. Are they playing better than they were last year, or did the rest of EU get worse? Because Remember, that was the 3rd/4th best team in EU. Like, they were duking it out with Zealots.
Yeah.
Last year,
So
before BlizzCon.
That's a good question. That's a good point you make, because you look at who they played. All right, let's look at week 1. They played Granite Gaming. They played Granite Gaming. They beat them, of course. I mean, I would expect that. I would expect that to happen. Week 2, they played Dignitas. Okay, they got a map. Look, okay, fine. It's Dignitas. We don't think too much about it, right? Then, that same weekend, they play Fnatic, which we can say is probably a lot weaker than they were last year. And that was a 3-2. And they took the series. So we're like, dang, they're good. This week, they play Monkey Menagerie, a meme team. They 3-0'd them. They 3-0'd them. And then they played Zealots and 3-0'd them. So, which is arguably a worse team. Like, from last phase, I would argue. So, I just think that they're playing worse versions of older teams, of previous teams. I don't know if they're... Obviously, they're probably better. Method's probably better now than they were when they were expert. Excuse me. Ooh, man, this Railhead Red Lumberyard beer is getting to me. It's good. Anyways, by the way, Lumberyard, if you want to sponsor me, let me know. So I'm sure they've gotten better. They've improved. They are hungry. They're, some of Bad Benny's pissed. He wants revenge on everybody. Yeah. And the other teams are a little bit better. Or are a little bit worse. So I think at the end of the day, we're kind of... I will say Method's better. They've gotten better overall. But I wouldn't say the rest of the EU got worse. I would just say that...
That was my follow-up question for you. So I wanted to ask you, has EU as a region, after these roster changes, gotten worse? Because I think it has. In general, I think it has. Like, now LiQuiD, yes, they're sitting up higher on the table. They're sitting at in third place. They're 4-1. They have a slightly worse map record than Method. And I'm a big LiQuiD fan. They're pretty much my EU team right now. And
I'm with you.
I don't think it's so much that they're better. I think the rest of the region has gotten worse. Take a look at the table. Leftovers are sitting in 4th place at 2-2. They just beat Fnatic, who we all
Hang on. Like, pardon the interruption, dude. I'm sorry, dude. No, I don't think that's the case. Because if we look, Method 3-0 Zealots, but LiQuiD goes 3-2 with Zealots, you cannot. You can't say that. I mean, I don't know. I don't think EU got worse. I just think things are kind of still sorting themselves out. Like, it's still a good region.
Here's my argument for that. Okay. Zealots has inarguably gotten worse. They haven't won a game. They've been close. They're trying like hell, but they haven't won a match. Diamond Skin, now called Granite Gaming, just as bad as they've always been, right? Still the 2nd worst team. Monkey Menagerie, formerly Tricked Esports, a team that was always kind of like the bottom of the mid-tier, now a meme team ahead of both those teams. Fnatic.
I mean, was that any different last phase? Was that? Yeah. I mean,
Zealots was better.
Okay, no, yeah.
I think Monkey Menagerie was better when they were trying as Tricked Esports. I think Fnatic was better when they were the 2nd best team in EU. I think Leftovers, they made one move, and yes, they improved as a team, but they shouldn't be jumping up to the top half of the table, no.
But Zealous went 3-2 with a probably better Team LiQuiD than we've ever seen in a long time. Like that's where my like benchmark is. Zealots is getting destroyed by They went 3-2 with Granite Gaming and lost to Granite Gaming, and they 3-2 Team LiQuiD. Like, is that just because Team LiQuiD was playing bad that day, or do you or do you feel that? Or is it because Zealots actually has some life? Oh man, we getting into this, dude. Let's go. Come on. Let me hear what you got.
So after every match, and like I don't want to make excuses for LiQuiuD, but after every match, and I don't know what it is that's going to take for them to click. On paper, they look like a better team. They're playing. The results back that up. But after, I swear, after every match, it seems like they're tweeting out that, yeah, we didn't play it great today. We got the win, but it wasn't like we didn't play that well. Like, what is it that's gonna like what like? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's, I don't know whether that's true or whether that's actually just the regular play. Like, you know, like I don't, you know, just your regular play isn't that great. Like you're just gonna keep skating by the skin of your teeth. Zealots, on the other hand, reminds me of a lot of like Diamond Skin, which is a team that they're trying really hard. They're competitive in a lot of games. There are flashes of the brilliance there, but it's not adding up consistently enough to get the W's. So I you know, I'll give them credit there. Like, it's just ultimately though, I feel like in general as a region, outside of like Leftovers and Method, I feel like are teams that have improved from last phase, but the rest of them I feel like I think LiQuiuD is the benefit of their schedule, are just benefiting from their schedule so far.
Yeah.
And like,
okay,
as a team are kind of like or stagnant, right? Like they haven't improved or unimproved. And I just feel like Fnatic, Monkey Menagerie, Granite, maybe not Granite, but Fnatic, Monkey Menagerie, and Zealots have all gotten worse from last phase. Whereas like,
yeah,
the region isn't, and I feel like the standings reflected. It's like the region is just not as competitive as it was.
You know what? I will concede then to you. You know, and there's one series here that I was looking at that is just like, it's screaming at me, but I chose to ignore it, and that was the set between Leftovers and Fnatic, and how Leftovers won that series 3-2. Which, by the way, that series was so good. If you have not watched that series, you need to go back and watch that. Leftovers, or Fnatic versus Leftovers, that was July 13th, 4 days ago, 2018. I'm sorry, July 14th. Go watch that. That Battlefield of Eternity game was like, when I saw from Leftovers, I was like, what is happening here? These guys are on another level. Because of that series, I will say EU has probably gotten worse, because I do not expect Fnatic to be falling to Leftovers. And that's probably, for me, that's just because I see the name Fnatic, and I'm still like clinging on to the glory days that was last year with Fnatic, and that's not the case anymore. I just gotta let it go. I guess. But I mean, we're talking about Team LiQuiuD. Well, we'll get into the previews later. But okay, all right. So I think Bahgz has convinced me. The results of this previous week have convinced me that EU as a region is probably weaker overall. However, Dignitas is, I think, still better than the top 3 of NA. Obviously, right? Even the top, I think they're better than the top of NA.
So here's my follow-up for that. Now that we've come to an agreement, right? Dignitas is probably having an easier time with pretty much all of their matches. Now, they stomped in the first phase, and everyone was playing catch-up. They tried to find some combos to make it work for this phase. I don't think it's going to happen. Their closest competition so far has been Method. It was a 3-1. Do you think, a la 2007 Patriots, that like this team, like the lack of stiff competition is going to hurt them? Like, the fact that they can just kind of come in and 3-0 and walk out, like, how does that hurt? It certainly can't help a team. I don't see how it could help a team.
Are you talking about internationally, or do you think? Correct.
Okay, so what I mean by that is, like, they're going to leave EU. They're going to go to an international tournament, and the competition is going to ramp up. It's going to be up to another level. Do you think, like, not facing that adversity week in and week out, not being forced to get creative and try something different, or you know, have your back up against the wall? Now, this is a team that has been molded, had their metal tested at LANs. This is a very experienced team at this point, Polyak included. That being said, winning like this, does it make you lazy? Does it, like, how does that affect you?
Does it make
does it bode poorly for them coming up? Not maybe at the Clash, because I think it's pretty safe to say that, barring a miracle, I don't see Dignitas losing the Western Clash. But for BlizzCon, I'm already looking that far ahead. Does this hurt them?
Does it make
Gen G's got stiffer competition? I feel like in
Korea
they
do. I agree. And then we can say that NA is probably the top of NA is probably outside of Heroes Hearth. I think Heroes Hearth is still even then we can say the same thing about Heroes Hearth, right? Tempo Stormers no longer. They're still good, but they're probably not as good as they were before. Right, so Heroes Hearth is probably going to suffer because Tempo Storm. Anyways, but for EU, does it make you lazier? Does it make you complacent? It probably makes the average player, the average team, complacent. But this is Dignitas we're talking about, dude. Dignitas has shown time and time again that they have the mental fortitude to come in through a losers bracket and just go all the way. Like, these guys have the discipline to persevere, to look at the situation objectively. This is what we need to do. This is how we're going to do it. I expect every single one of us to perform to the best of our ability, to play as a team. They literally, every time you hear these post-game interviews or you just see them on the stage or whatever, they come in, they play their game. All right, wrap it up. Keyboards away. Good job, guys. We'll wait for the next set. They look like monsters, dude. Like, they're just mentally just impenetrable, in my opinion. So they're not going to be lazy. They're going to do their homework. They're going to study. They're going to know what's going on. And they're also smart enough and good enough as players to go to these LAN events, play some scrims, and adapt just like that, and understand what it is stronger regions are doing, and either play around that. But
I think I agree. I think that even though the competition isn't very stiff right now in EU, I think that they're just beasts at LAN, and I think they'll be fine. I think they'll adjust.
Well, yeah.
You know? And we have to remember that BlizzCon was adjusted. There is a group stage now for BlizzCon, so there is time to kind of adjust on the fly in that group stage to the tougher competition. So, you know, it might be an adjustment first couple of matches, but I think they'll be fine. I agree with you. I was just curious to see if you thought they wouldn't be. Kind of like playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, they're just too good. They're too good of a team, and as far as mechanically, intelligent, however they think about the game, their will, their fortitude, as I was saying, they're scary. Like, I remember earlier Dignitas, Snitch was always memeing, making jokes and things like that. And I found that over time, that has diminished. Like, yeah, he'll still crack some jokes. You see him in Twitch chat making jokes, and he might make a little joke in the interview. But for the most part, it's always very professional. He gets to the point. He's very charismatic in a sense, but
yeah,
I'm like, dang, this guy has changed. He's matured, and the rest of the team. JPL, Poik is just, he's there, he's playing his game. Like, everybody, I can't even, like, it doesn't matter who I say, everybody on that team. And then you look at Monkey Menagerie, now it's the Pro G's just memeing the whole time. You're like, yeah, this guy's never gonna go to a BlizzCon and win with that mindset. But, you know, I'm sure he's got his reasons for being the way he is, and that's fine. Like, if they're sitting comfortably in the middle there, fine. Cool. But for a team like Dignitas, that isn't good enough. So, but yeah. Anyways, what else we got? Let's keep this train rolling, Bahgz.
This train of thought rolling. Well, let's shift over to NA then. I got nothing else for you. Those were kind of the things I wanted to touch on with them. Let's talk about the premier Heroes of the Storm division, North America HGC, where the real hots happen.
I agree.
I didn't have anything else. That was my big thing. So Tempo Storm is still pretty good, huh?
Yeah, they're still pretty good. They're still pretty good. They played against LFM. It's LFM.
You know what? Before we pivot away, and we might have talked about this, but I don't think we did. I think it was a Discord conversation, chat, text only with Fringe last week, actually. So LFM, we listen. We love Hero Physio. He's the coach of LFM. We're all big LFM fans. But at what point do we say enough is enough? Stop making we as LFM fans stop making excuses for them for being the new guys on the block. Things are clicking. They're learning. When is showing flash? When is like they've shown flashes? They could be good. Like when is it? All right. Well, let's like put some W's on the board. Let's see it. Like
when do they do that? When do they do that?
Yeah, when does that happen, or is it just not going to happen at this point? Now,
okay.
To be fair, they've had a tough opening schedule.
No, I'll tell you.
Literally,
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now, Bahgz. I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
No excuses. Yeah, they've had a tough schedule. They, whatever.
But so does everyone, right?
So does everybody. So does
everyone's got
Octalysis, right? They had a tough schedule. Kappa. So, how does LFM get to that next level? This is just Goon. This is Goon Hots talking, dropping his take. At me if you want. Yell at me if you want. Give me some shade or agree. Whatever. I'm gonna just throw it out there. You make a roster change. You find a new support player. The Aware during
the Aware fan.
The open division was hot. His Ariel, everybody knew his Ariel. Everybody knew his support play. It was cool. However, I have seen some Monka shake moments coming out from that guy this phase that it's like triggering at this point. Like I get so mad because you see LFM, you see the way they play, you're like, oh man, some great moments, and then all of a sudden there's somebody gets caught in a rotation because they were checking a bush somewhere they didn't really need to be, or they picked a talent because of reasons that they could have had another talent which could have had a different outcome in the game, whatever. I just you don't throw okay, they've got to blow up anything comp. They've blown up Murden 5 times already with this combo. How about we prep a regrowth on Murden? There's a root in the silence. Can we get the cleanse at least to buy him some time to start moving out of the silence? No, we didn't prep the regrowth. We can't cleanse him. He's dead anyways. Probably gonna die anyways. Maybe. But we'll never know because we couldn't cleanse him to find out. Anyways, that is what I think needs to happen. I'm throwing that out there. No flame. I'm sure the guy's a good guy. I'm sure he works hard. But that's probably, for me, that's the biggest thing that stands out as far as LFM is concerned. I think Fury's probably still finding his groove as far as like maybe shot calling and leading a team, especially a team of younger guys that obviously are new to the scene. They have a lot to learn. There is a learning curve as far as HGC is concerned for newer players, Crucible or Open Division teams, Crucible teams. So yeah, that's what I say. That's what I think. But I will argue that they do look better than No Tomorrow. So
I would agree. No Tomorrow is in real bad form, as people in Europe would say about their soccer players.
Yeah.
Listen, I like that answer. I I dig it. My next question for you is still on LFM.
Okay.
Draded. They lost him to Octalysis. Is that just they haven't been able to fill that void, or do you think that they are managing just fine without him?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Draded. The best Draded I have ever seen was when the AI Genji took over and baited that Rhaegar into the kill. So maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need a Draded Genji AI bot. That's what we need. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Do I think Draded left a large enough void for LFM to look the way they do now? I will say if Draded was still on that team, things would probably be a little smoother, a little bit easier, because Draded, I think, is a very intelligent player, a very good player, very mature player, I think, and could probably do a lot of could help Fury kind of shoulder some of that burden. Kind of, you split the burden a little bit between those two players, I think. But do I think the void is large enough to where LFM can't recover because Drake is gone? Not necessarily, but Drake could have helped for sure.
My next question for you, still on LFM, are they better than Simplicity? Because now the only teams they haven't played are Simplicity, Team Freedom, and No Tomorrow. Now, outside of Team Freedom, Simplicity and No Tomorrow are really the only other two teams that are within striking distance for them to beat. Now, you already said you think they're better than No Tomorrow, so do you think they're better than Simplicity, who they face this week on Friday?
Are they better than Simplicity?
Simplicity's pretty much, they are the gatekeepers for getting out of the Crucible for LFM.
I think LFM has the potential to beat Simplicity.
Or do they have the consistency?
I think they can. I think they do. It's just because arguably you can say Simplicity's probably not as consistent either. They do have a team of veterans that understand playing at this high level. They've been around the block, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm going to say that LFM has the edge, and it's going to be not because of the players or their knowledge or anything like that, but because of the support staff they have. So, that's what I think. I think that LFM can take everything they've learned this past week, apply it to this next set against Simplicity, and win. Yeah.
I think Simplicity's still got them. I think that they don't. I don't think LFM's got enough to get out to overtake them, to get past the gatekeeper, so to speak. But I agree. I think they're better than No Tomorrow, as No Tomorrow is.
Well,
right now.
Okay. So here's what I. It's gonna come down, and we'll get into this a little bit more when we talk about Octalysis. But it's gonna come down to how does Simplicity and LFM get over a tough loss week after week? Can they come back the next week just as strong, if not stronger, than the previous week after a loss? Every time I see LFM, it's like, okay, damn, like they don't look discouraged. They don't look like a team that's just getting worse and worse, and just like getting triggered or getting tilted in these games. Whereas I look at a team like Simplicity, where they do have that experience, they have been around the block, and they take a tough loss, and maybe the next week they're not at the same level they were the previous week.
So I agree with Argy and Chad. Actually, I think the support staff over at LFM, and in particular Hero Physio, does a phenomenal job of
I agree.
Getting these guys on the right path and thinking the right way. It's just really a matter of just getting the getting something else to click, you know, like the micro or something, you know, like just the decision making in game to click. But I agree. Simplicity is filled with players that are notorious tilters. So
I mean, you
like,
could.
enough said, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's well. Okay, I was gonna say I argue, but that's never mind. Never mind. Ha 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 ha. But anyways,
I want to. The next thing I want to ask you about in North America is the pleasant surprise that's endemic esports right now. They beat Octalysis 3-2. They were really competitive, but lost to Team Freedom. This is a team that I thought was going to be 5th. I would have pegged them in North America coming into this phase, and it looks like they're better than that.
They are a team that has everything to prove. And I think that obviously their most recent sponsor owner has given them a large morale boost. I think they're pretty hungry. They're very good players, very competitive players. Udall, I'm sure, like I said, he has something to prove. He wants to prove something, that he's not some washed up, here's the dorm player that just played Illidan forever. But no flame. And they really want to win. They really want to improve. They're going to do what they can. I don't know if they currently have a coach, but I'm assuming they do not. Considering that circumstance, I'm very impressed to see what they do. I'm very impressed by what they do each week. I mean, I'm very happy that they're performing as well as they are, considering what they've been through, where they've come from, and that series against Octalysis.
It was phenomenal.
It was very entertaining. It was wild. If there's anything monkish shake, it's that game. Like that series. That was insane. That Towers of Doom game, dude. What the hell was that? We've got people dying to forts for no reason. We've got like full team, like, dude. Cure, my boy, Cure. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Cure. Dansky. Those dragon arrows, dude. What was going on there? I mean, okay, I saw on Twitter he's blaming lag or something like that, but I don't know if that was tongue in cheek or not. But no, that was just a crazy game. You could tell that the nerves were taking over. That the anxiety, it was real. It was real, and for Endemic to pull that out, man, that is such a huge confidence booster, especially going into their next series this weekend with Heroes Hearth. Like, hey, we can go in and kick some ass and win. That'd be great. We can put on a good show, put on a good fight, and lose. Either way, we're gonna be happy with the result. We're gonna perform to the best of our ability and be happy with that. Of course, they want to win. That's the happiest they can be. But I think regardless of the result here, they're going to be okay. Of this coming weekend, they're going to be okay. Now, for a team like Octalysis, where they're coming in this is the 3rd week in a row. If I'm not mistaken, no, the second week in a row. They come in and they lose like this. Last week it was the meme. Oh, under better conditions, better paying, we would have had that game. And then coming into this week, you guys are already a living meme. Or Prismat is a living meme. But I will say this, because he is a meme, because of his remarks, he reflects on Octalysis as a team. So now, whenever Octalysis loses, it's not, oh, I won, lag at whatever he said is gonna be it's just gonna be tied to Octalysis now, all the players.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then losing like that to Endemic, and then at the end of that series to go on Twitter and say something. I don't even know if he's trolling at this point or not.
He's got to be.
He's got to be
at this point.
He's got to be. But still, like, okay, even if you are just like, all right, man, like, your team's probably pissed. Even if they're not, if they're laughing, whatever, cool. It is what it is. But after losing like that, how can you go and next if they lose against No Tomorrow next week? Rip Octalysis, rip that roster, rip everything about that. It's done. But I mean, they'll probably end up beating them. Go ahead.
And we're kind of jumping ahead, but it's okay. Looking ahead, week 4, week 5 remaining. Heroes Hearth, Tempo Storm definitely going to the Western Clash, 100%. Who else is going?
Team Freedom. I think Team Freedom. And if Team Freedom goes to the Western Clash and Octalysis does not, that is a nail in the coffin. That is the ultimate. That if they lose a No Tomorrow, that's the nail in the coffin. That's okay. If they don't go to the Western Clash, that's really that is like the ultimate nail in the coffin. That is feels bad. But
so you think?
I think Team Freedom can do it.
No, I'm saying, so you also think Endemic is going as well? Is that 4 teams from NA go now?
Yeah,
It's 4 and 4.
Yeah.
So it's
I think
the odd man out of those 3.
I think yeah. Unless they can show me that they can be consistent, come in week after week, do what they got to do, stay off of Twitter, focus on the game, and win. If they can show me that, all right. But right now, the results speak for themselves, and everything else that you've shown me outside the game lead me to believe otherwise. I mean,
I agree.
At me. Go ahead.
I'm with you. No, like 100%. I'm with you. I think Endemic has leapfrogged Octalysis. I think Freedom have leapfrogged Octalysis. I think they are the odd man out. Whatever magic they had last year that clicked, that whatever it was, it's just they can't find it consistently enough. There are, like you said, and you said this last week. Goon. It was occasionally they have those snap rotation calls where they pick people off. Everything is very fluid. And then a lot of time, and then there are other times, and it's just not consistent like it was last year, where it seemed like it was every game. Or a lot of times it's just a mess out there, and it just, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's missing, but
it's a more extreme version of Cable, Tempest, and DirecTV.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. So,
I don't know.
Now,
man.
to be fair, Octalysis schedule does let up a little bit. They get to play No Tomorrow this coming week. That should be a win for them. Their toughest matchup coming up is Team Freedom in week 5. That is going to be the deciding factor between those two teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take Team Freedom to beat LFM this coming week. I think that's probably safe to say.
Mm-hmm.
Endemic could finish 3 and 4 though. They have HHE and Tempo Storm. Those are their next 2 matchups.
Yeah, they're tough matchups.
It's going to be really interesting, right? So here's the way to look at it. Octalysis could go over Endemic, because Endemic would finish 3-4. If Octalysis beats Team Freedom, they would probably go over Endemic, because Endemic would be 3-4 and Octalysis would be 4-3. Team Freedom would also beat 3-4. Oh, I don't know. That's so confusing. No, they would be 4-4. Wait, no. I don't know how to read this. I can't do this.
So
I'm trying to look at the head of the schedule and take a look at the standings at the same time here.
So based on the schedule, Octalysis is more likely to go than Endemic. Okay.
Right.
We're looking
because Endemic.
Yeah.
Endemic is sitting at 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
They only have 2 matches left. One is versus Tempo Storm, and one is versus HHE. So they play HHE this week. That's probably a loss, to be fair. right? It's probably a loss. They're sitting at 3. Now they're 3-3. They play Tempo Storm in the final week. That's that's week 5. That's probably also a loss. Now they're 3-4. Octalysis, probably the closest competition for them, between them and Team Freedom, plays No tomorrow. That's probably a win for Octalysis. They're 3-3. Then they play Team Freedom, which is probably a coin toss.
That I think falls in Team Freedom's favor, but that's just me because Team Freedom's. Anyways,
I agree. No, I agree. So Team Freedom's 3-2. They play LFM. They'll probably win. They're sitting up 4-2, with some wiggle room. They beat Octalysis. They finish 5-2, or they lose to Octalysis and they finish 4-3. Either way, they're probably going. It's going to come down to Octalysis beating Team Freedom or not. If Octalysis beats Team Freedom, then Team Freedom and Octalysis probably go. If Octalysis loses to Team Freedom, then it's probably Team Freedom and Endemic, based on map score, I would think. So, and head-to-head. So that's the key right there. So now we're, we kind of talked ourselves through that Team Freedom and Octalysis matchup. That's the key.
Yep. Like, at this point, I think last week I said that Octalysis would win 3-2 over Endemic. I just went with my brain there. I let the people know with my brain, but low key in the shadows, I was like, I think Endemic might win that. But that's not.
Well, here's the thing, like going into that, like Endemic had beat No tomorrow. They had lost. Now don't forget this. It was week 1. Things were early, but they had lost to Simplicity.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. Octalysis 3-0 Simplicity.
So what does that say about Octalysis? And so you can say I think that says more about Octalysis than it does about Endemic.
That Octalysis 3-0 Simplicity?
No.
Lost to Simplicity?
Endemic gets 3-1 by Simplicity. Or am I reading that right? Hang on.
No,
yeah. That was week 1. They played Endemic played Simplicity, got 3-1, right? And then 3-2 against. Or I'm sorry, they 3-0'd LFM. 3-2. They lost 3-2 to Team Freedom, and then they 3-2 Octalysis, and Octalysis 3-0'd Simplicity. For me, because Octalysis got 3-2'd by Endemic, to me that says more about Octalysis than it does about Endemic. Because I would argue, I would say that the Simplicity Endemic matchup should be close. They should be kind of like back and forth from time to time. But Octalysis should be on another level. That was essentially a BlizzCon team.
No, that's the thing, right? So after Psalm kind of abruptly left the Heroes scene to go play Fortnite, right? That was the end of the super team that was Tempo Storm, right?
Right.
That, in all of our collective minds, we're all right, Tempo Storm's not as good as they were. Heroes Hearth probably the new best team in NA. Octalysis officially the new number 2 team. That's immediately how we all were thinking, right? Tempo Storm dropped to 3rd, maybe 4th, right? Turns out Tempo Storm, by the way, really resilient, still undefeated, right there with HGC, actually sitting on top of the standings because they've played an extra match. And Octalysis did not grab that opportunity and run with it. Now, as the big Team Freedom homer that I am, they made no roster changes and they didn't grab that opportunity and run with it either. But at least they're staying consistent. They're hanging out at 3rd, 4th. I don't know. So I guess the big takeaway from this, and then we can move on to the preview section because we're idling here. The big takeaway is Octalysis has disappointed.
Yes.
Through 3 weeks. Endemic has surprised. Team Tempo Storm has surprised, and everyone else has kind of done what we expected.
Yeah.
Right? So. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I know I said we would move on, but I want to ask you this, and Argy's already hinting at it. Who's your number 1 team in North America right now? Tempo Storm with their new player, or Heroes Hearth?
Tempo Storm.
Tempo Storm's still the best team in North America. I think I agree, and we're gonna find out this week. So let's pivot to that. Segue to
hang on. Tempo Storm is number one because Swoy is their coach, and because they're a good team, they're good players, hardworking, not taking anything away from Heroes Hearth, but my Arthalon factor point, the point of the Arthalon factor still stands for me.
You just made Schizo so happy.
Anyways, and Octalis is okay. They have the schedule set before them. At this point, they are no longer afforded the what's the phrase I'm looking at? The benefit of the doubt for us to believe in them. They at this point they have to prove that back to us.
I agree.
Back to the viewers, back to the fans. The
benefit of the doubt voucher has been revoked. The burden is on them. You no longer. I'm. I was like, Octal. Yeah. There's no. You got to show me now. At this point, you got to show me. But let's move on, dude. All right. So let's take a look at the preview. We'll start with. Let me pull it up real quick. We'll start with Korea. And then we'll go through it. I don't have it in the notes like I normally do right now. I slacked, I'm not going to lie. But over in Korea, Friday, my first match of the day, we've got Supernova versus Gluck. Supernova, it would be my pick there, and probably like a 3-1. Though Korea, I should probably be hedging my bet and go 3-0. Normally 3-1's the hedge. You figure the losing team can pick up a map. I'm going Supernova. 3-1 over Gluck here.
Yeah.
Do you have a... Yeah, I agree, right? You're in agreement?
Yeah, I agree with that.
The next one, not very... I mean, there's only really one really exciting match in Korea this weekend. But I'll roll through them real quick so to give people a heads up in case they have a favorite team. Ballistics plays Felice as the second match on Friday. That should be a 3-0 easy for Ballistics. Mm-hmm. Saturday, Gen G playing Miracle. Miracle has improved. We talked about it earlier. Gen G probably going to 3-0 though. Gen G is just rolling through Korea, similar to how Dickens House just rolling through EU. Blossom plays Supernova. The following match on Saturday. I fully expect Blossom to win that. That'll probably be a 3-0, maybe a 3-1. But I'm going to lean towards 3-0. I'm going with the Korean trend here of 3-0. Blossom should pick up another win on Sunday. They have the first match of the day against Gluck. Another 3-0. Gluck is still reeling from losing their owner/manager, so they haven't recovered from it. And then the highlight, they're saving the best for last in Korea. So the later match on Sunday, Tempest versus Gen G. Both teams are undefeated. Gen G has not dropped a map. Tempest has dropped one, but that was against Ballistics, so no shame in that. Do you have a pick here? And then I will. I mean, I'm Gen G, and it's a 3.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Gen G 3-1's Ballistics. Sorry guys, we're man, LiQuiuD shouldn't have left. Bahgz and I are too similar with our picks.
Isn't that not very controversial?
Yeah,
right?
no, I agree with that. I mean, I think even if LiQuiuD were here, he would say the same thing.
He would agree, right?
He would agree.
He would just say that we're not giving Tempest enough credit. Listen, they're the second best team in Korea right now, LiQuiuD, if you're listening. All right, there you go. There's your credit.
You better be listening.
All right, then moving on to the next region, EU, starting on Friday. We've got Zealots versus Fnatic. I'm going to go Fnatic here, and I'm going to go with a 3-2. I think it's going to be competitive.
I'm with you on that
Quacknick's facing his old squad.
No, I'm with you on that one. I'm saying 3-2, but I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt now to the Zealots and say that they win this one.
Zealots is going to pick their first win up of the year against Fnatic?
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yes.
You're going with your heart again.
Well, my heart, and they're coming off a loss against Leftovers, man. That's heavy. That one hit hard. So it's the Octalysis fact. It's like the whole Octalysis thing, like
mental
break. I think so. No, I mean even if they're fine, they're fine. I'm gonna say that Zealots gets their win here. And if that happens, Fnatic is pissed. They lose to Dignitas the next day. And then
they probably beat the meme team in week 5, though.
Yeah, they will. And they'll come back there. But anyways, keep going. Sorry.
You know, we didn't mention this, and I'm sorry to backtrack. Does Leftovers go to the Clash over Fnatic? Listen, if Zealots beats Fnatic and Dignitas beats Fnatic, they're sitting at 1-5. They beat Monkey Menagerie, they're 2-5. They finished 2-5.
And let's see, Leftovers has to play Method. They have to play Monkey Menagerie, and then they end it with Granite Gaming. I think
Leftovers, my God. This is the world I want to live in.
I think Leftovers goes to the Clash, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be something.
I think they're the 4th team, and I think they squeak by. That would be something.
Wow. We live in a world where Leftovers could go to the Clash. What? That'd be a cool story, actually.
I agree with Argy, by the way. Mopsio has made that a better team. I don't necessarily feel that Mopsio is one of I don't know. I like Mopsio, but not. I don't know. I don't. I guess would I say he's a top 4 tank in EU? I don't know if I would, but he has made that team a lot better. It's like I don't know what it's just completely different. Maybe he's been remotivated. Either way, I'm picking Fnatic to beat Zealots 3-2, which will make it a lot spicier. That'll certainly make that closer. Granite Gaming versus Monkey Menagerie. That's game 2 in EU on Friday.
Monkey Menagerie 3-0's that.
You know, it's funny. I think I agree, and they're the meme team. Do you think it's just like it's like a collection of talent that just doesn't?
They're just better players, in my opinion, and they probably
yeah.
And because they're not stressing us hard, they're just probably gonna play well anyways and do their thing and wrap it up. Another Alex Progy interview. He gives a meme and then he logs off, and that's the end of that.
In the duck suit. All right. Method versus Leftovers. That's Saturday. That's our 12 Eastern game. That's probably Method. Probably a.
I think that's a 3-2. I think that's a 3-2 Method.
Oh, you think it's really competitive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
think.
I dig it.
I think so.
But you're going Method.
I'm going Method.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I think Leftovers is going to be riding that high, riding that wave from the previous week, and. They looked good. They drafted so well, and man, I almost wanted to switch it 3-2 Leftovers, but Method is a good team, strong team. But I think
that's
Leftovers, man, guys. Leftovers is the one to watch. They're the ones to keep an eye out for. You got to watch out for that team.
Dark horse.
Yeah. Oof.
That's like the definition of a dark horse. All right, moving on. Fnatic. Dignitas
3-0.
All right. See, again, LiQuiud's not here to be the Fnatic fanboy, so like
it's not gonna matter, LiQuiud. Like, come on.
It's over. The dream is over, kid. Sunday, Team LiQuiud versus Granite Gaming. I'm going Team LiQuiud in a 3-0.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Leftovers versus Monkey Menagerie.
Leftovers 3-1.
I'm gonna go Leftovers 3-2. Menagerie, I have faith that they'll push them. I believe.
If there's any team Monkey Menagerie doesn't want to lose to, it's the Leftovers. I think they're just gonna be like, no, we're not gonna lose to these guys. No. Whatever we do, we cannot lose to these guys. But by that point, they're just now turning themselves. They're just like, okay, let's do it. Let's turn ourselves. Let's turn on right here.
Well, here's
and by then, Leftovers is already. They're already full speed, baby. They've already been consistent. But go ahead.
Here's the thing about the monkeys. Okay, their finishing schedule is fairly easy. They play Granite Gaming. They play the Leftovers, and they play Fnatic. And I say fairly easy because Fnatic is not as good as they once were. So
they're an autopilot right now. They don't care.
The monkeys could potentially go could 3-0.
They
have a chance at the Clash.
3-0.
Like winning all three of those matches, finishing the season. Like they could beat the Granite Gaming, they could beat Leftovers, and they could beat Fnatic.
They could, but they're not. Like I said, they've been coasting this whole season so far. Well, you gotta maintain that discipline. You gotta maintain that momentum. And here's the storm. Momentum works both ways. When you're kicking ass, dude. No one's stopping you. If you're eating ass, you're eating ass. No one's stopping you. That's it. That's how it works. Monkey Menagerie has been
no comeback mechanics.
No comeback mechanics in HGC. Monkey Menagerie has been right. They've just been coasting, and they're just gonna coast. And then Leftovers, they've been working. They've been pushing. They've been climbing that hill. They've been climbing that mountain. They've been working. They've been training. Here's Monkey Menagerie. Here's Leftovers. They're gonna clash here. Leftovers is gonna just go up, and then from that moment on, Monkey Menagerie is either gonna be a tilt machine, salt fest, or maybe they decide to straighten up and maybe get a few games off of Fnatic, make some things look competitive, but at the end still lose. That's how I see it. I mean,
I take it. You're looking at this now, and we should have mentioned it before. I agree. I think this is Leftovers' opportunity to go to win. So I think it's happening too.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, North America, we saved the best region for last. Friday, Endemic versus Heroes Hearth eSports should be a great matchup to watch. Simplicity followed by Simplicity. Oh, sorry. Let's get our picks in. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. I think Heroes Hearth wins. I think it's a 3-1.
Heroes Hearth wins. For the sake of being different, I'm gonna say 3-0.
You said 3-0?
3-0, yeah.
I can see it. No way Endemic wins it, though. Simplicity plays LFM as the second match on Friday. This is LFM up against the Gatekeeper that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Like, this is LFM has to win. This is like LFM has to win this or it's Crucible time again. Like, as far as I'm concerned. Like, maybe they could post clash, they could go on a tear and avoid it, but I think this is a big match for them. Honestly, like it's this or we're looking at Crucible again. They're not going to get this.
So I'm going to go back again. The Aware needs to clean some things up. He needs to make sure he is not exploited by Simplicity because they will exploit him. Tiger JK will play Monk. We'll see some Greymanes. We'll see some crazy aggressive composition coming out of Simplicity, and they will kill They will kill the Aware's Malfurion every single time they get the chance. Or whatever other hero he's on that is a more passive playstyle. They got to watch out for that. If LFM can anticipate that and play around that, I think they can win. But the burden's on them. I know I did say LFM will probably win this. I have faith that they will. Still a good chance Simplicity will win. I'm going to go with my heart and say LFM, but, you know, someone's going to make a Reddit thread about me being wrong and saying, like, look at the stats. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I agree. But it wouldn't
I'm
be...
going to go with LFM as well, and I'm going to go in a 3-2.
Yeah.
I'm going with my gut. Not my heart, my gut.
Yeah.
Next match, Saturday. Octalysis, no, tomorrow. I think Octalysis wins. I think it's probably a 3-0.
I hope it's a 3-0 for Octalysis' sake.
Yeah.
I want to see No Tomorrow get a win here. It's based off of the results that we've seen. It's a stretch, right?
Yeah. No Tomorrow's best chance for some W's, I think, are later, their last 2 matches of the season.
Yes. However, like I said before, nothing's guaranteed anymore for Octalysis. I mean, obviously, nothing's guaranteed either for No Tomorrow. These are 2 teams that essentially have to prove themselves. Historically speaking, one is better than the other. Show me something. I think Octalysis has the better chance of winning this. Part of me thinks No Tomorrow comes online, but we'll see. Do I give it a score? 3-1 Octalysis?
Okay. I dig it. The next matchup, Saturday, Heroes Hearth, Tempo Storm. This is the premier bang heavyweight matchup of North America this weekend. We're gonna find out who's the best team in North America. Is it Tempo Storm or is it Heroes Hearth? I don't know. I don't know.
I think the fan and Crowan matchup is interesting. I want to see how Vin plays around Crowan, and I know he can run circles around Arthelon. Can he play around the Crowan, punish the Crowan, and not get punished by Crowan? I think Vin can make plays around everybody else, around Ishbu, around BBJ. For me, it's Crowan. How does Vin fare against Crowan? And how does Crowan deal with Tempo Storm? I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Heroes Hearth. I think they're a great roster. But for me, I see consistently time and time again in games, Arthelon gets punished. However, because we are in North America, the competition isn't as stiff as in other regions. We don't see that punishment get taken too far. And I think Tempo Storm can punish some Arthelon misplays significantly better than the rest of North America can. I'm going to say 3-2 Tempo Storm.
I'm going to go opposite here, but I think it's going to be a hell of a series. I'm going to go Heroes Hearth over Tempo Storm 3-2 and the other way.
Okay.
Now,
Glau does get punished, Wamba boys. He does. Thank you. He does get punished. However, I don't know if Heroes Hearth will, because it's a McIntyre Glau matchup, and then maybe Arthelon makes a rotation. Or yeah, that is true, but so yeah, it can go either way.
We'll see. It's going to be a great matchup. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. There is just still an insane amount, even though Psalm's not there anymore. There's still an insane amount of talent on the Tempo Storm roster. Again, both teams are very well situated behind the scenes as far as coaches and managers go. They have a great support structure. Swoy, I don't know how long he's been coaching the team, what changes he's making. Could be the X factor for Tempo Storm. I don't know.
Good point.
I'm looking forward to it, though. I can't wait. All right. Sunday. LFM, Team Freedom. Does LFM have what it takes to beat Team Freedom? I don't think so. I think Team Freedom wins that probably 3-2.
I want both of these teams to win this series. That's how I feel.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, only one will win. And I think, I
Highlander
think,
status.
I think Team Freedom will win. Pains me to say, but it will be a good series. It will be a 3-2.
All right. I dig it. Then the last match of the week is No Tomorrow versus Simplicity, a real barn burner. Can No Tomorrow pick up their first victory of this phase against Simplicity?
It depends on how the previous week went, and if No Tomorrow can clean a couple things up. And I think it also depends on how Simplicity plays against LFM. If Simplicity loses against LFM, I will say the chances that No Tomorrow gets a win increase because Simplicity's coming off a hard loss. I want to believe, and I want to say No Tomorrow gets a win. But it's
I'm going
tough.
Simplicity.
I'm gonna put it on the board. Simplicity. I'm gonna say 3-2.
Okay.
It's gonna be scrappy as hell.
All right. I'm gonna go Simplicity, and I think it's probably a 3-2 as well. I agree with you.
Cool.
All right. Well, moving on away from the preview section. Are there any like discussion topics you wanna touch on? Or
Yeah. So real quick, third ban is coming to HGC this weekend, along with the Rainer rework and an Asmodan rework. How big of an impact do you think? What kind of impact do you think? I'm going to say how big of an impact. Obviously, it's going to be a very large impact. What kind of impact do you think will come along with this third ban? And do you think we'll see some Rainer and Asmodan this weekend?
I definitely think we're going to see some Rainer. I'm not sure about Asmodan. You know what? When I say definitely, like, I shouldn't say that. In the professional, at the professional level, heroes like Rainer who don't have a lot of mobility really get punished. We're starting to see more Jaina, but it's still far and few between, and she suffers kind of from a similar problem. She has no great escapes. But I do think we're going to see some Rainer. As far as the third ban, there was a really good article over on the Invent site that I enjoyed, and I think it made a good point. The extra 2 bans, obviously one for each team. The extra ban is going to allow teams to kind of target ban a little bit more than they do now. Like a lot of it, what they do now is like, ban insert overpowered until they get nerfed hero here, right? Like
we're gonna see lots of Tracer bans, lots of Genji bans.
I think we're gonna see some more target bans. Like if someone has like a really, really small hero pool, I think that they're going to either use that to level the playing field, or they're going to use it to just demoralize the team, one or the other. So,
okay.
If it's a crutch, I think we're going to see some more of that. What kind of effect is it going to have? Like, what kind of effect will target banning have on games? I really can't say. It might end up just coming out a wash. Honestly, like it might just be like, all right, now there's a third ban, but nothing much has changed. I don't know. It's hard to say.
That's no.
What do you think?
That's no fun. I think that the third ban will bring in, will create a gap, an even bigger gap against the best teams and the worst teams, because the best teams have many drafts prepared. They have done dry runs of this stuff. First of all, the banning timer, the timer during this ban phase is significantly shorter. So, you got half the time per ban. It's like 25 seconds or something like that. It's pretty insane. So, You need to know already what you're gonna, more than likely already know what you want to ban, what you want to pick, and what you're looking out for. The best teams will already have these things in mind for the most part, or some idea of, as to how they want to play. There might be some target bans. There's more than likely going to be OP bans. Like, hey, we're banning Genji. Well, okay, we're banning Urel. Okay, we're banning Blaze. Okay, we're banning, I don't know, Johanna or Garrosh or
Now,
Hanzo.
I'm not...
So,
I want to... I just pulled up some quick stats.
okay.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not. But I want to see you defend your point based on what I'm about to throw at you right now, okay?
Okay.
Because I think I agree with you. Widest hero pool by teams based on North America, Europe, and Korea. I lump this together. I'm pulling these stats from Master League, for those who are wondering, masterleague.net. 2018 HGC, Europe, Korea, and North America Phase 2 Group Stage 1 and 2. Fnatic, 37 heroes through 19 matches. Octalis, 37 heroes through 20 matches. Miracle, 36 heroes through 50. These are the widest hero pools by teams. Miracle, 36 through 15 matches. Granite Gaming, 33 through 15. Simplicity, 32 through 14. Now,
Okay.
these are all teams that are arguably not doing so hot.
So my question to you is, let's look at Genji, let's look at Dignitas, and let's look at Tempo Storm.
Got you. So smallest hero pool by teams. Heroes Hearth eSports, 19 through 13 matches. Leftovers, 23 through 15. Monkey Menagerie, 24 through 13. Gen G, 24 through 12. I will say Dignitas shows up and Tempo Storm show up on the wider end of the spectrum, with Tempo Storm at 31 heroes through 18 matches and Dignitas 30 through 16. But Heroes Hearth, 19 through 13. Are they going to be seriously affected by this?
I think they're just playing, right now, they're just playing whatever. Like, okay, hey, these heroes are good. They allow us to wave clear. They allow us to rotate. It's a lot of Johanna. It's a lot of Blaze. Things like that. Hanzo, I think. But yeah, it's just heroes like that where it's just like, these are good at doing things. And we can coordinate. We can do our thing. And I am more than positive that they have other things up. As far as I know, they've probably on their spare time have been studying third bands. They're you know, for whenever Blizzard announced that they were doing it. I know during Open Division off season, before Heroes Hype and Blizzard announced that they were starting with 2 bans at the beginning, a lot of the top teams were screaming with 3 bans. Hey, before you go into the ban phase, hey, we ban this hero. Okay, we banned this hero. Now we're going into the ban. Now we're going into the ban phase. We ban it. Okay, and then we go. So people have already been preparing. If that's what's going on in Open Division, I can only imagine potentially what was happening outside of the scrims, maybe on like a team thing. As far as
I believe it.
Their bans is concerned. So okay, go ahead.
Now I was just playing devil's advocate again. I agree with you actually. I think Heroes Hearth, they have a comp. They have characters that they like to play, and at this point they're such a well-oiled machine at executing the comps that they're good at, that it's like, beat me. Like, just like show me something that beats this, and then we'll change. Because right now you can't, and you aren't. So we're just going to keep running it out there because it keeps getting us the W. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like,
I'm sure they have the potential to be like Dignitas and play 31 heroes and, you know, understand what the comp does. And
absolutely, I agree. So I thought the stats were interesting, so I just wanted to throw it out there and see. And I did read, I think it was in Twitch chat tonight, that maybe Heroes Hearth might be really hurt by the third ban because they have such a tight hero pool. But
they're not showing anything. They're just, like I said, they're just playing what's generally good, what they think are good heroes, and that's true. Like,
they're just running it out until they start losing with it. Why bother changing it? So,
yeah, exactly. So they're just gonna adapt, and then let's just look at the players historically, like McIntyre plays Zeratul, you know, Kerrigan. He plays all kind. They put him on Blaze because that's what's good. Arthalon can play all kinds of stuff. Let's look at the Warriors. What are some popular Warriors right now? Are we gonna be okay? Well, ETC. We've got a Nuber. Let's say Johanna, Garrosh, Diablo get banned. We still got Muradin. We still have ETC, a Nubarak. Like Ishbu. Like those are all good heroes that Ishbu can play. Supports might be a little more interesting. We might see more Rhaegar. Maybe we'll see more more and more monks. Maybe we'll see Alex Straza come out. Maybe we'll see a Brightwing or something like that. Or the comps are going to become more diverse for sure. But looking at the current hero, look at the current hero of the Storm character roster. There are a lot of heroes that I'm sure HGC can pick up and play. Arthalon played Rexar, for crying out loud.
Yes.
You know, like...
And Asmodan.
And Asmodan. Like, what makes you think they're not going to run an Asmodan this weekend with his third ban and a rework? Maybe they will. I don't know. Crowan, he played a lot of Hanzo, Greymane, Li Ming in the past, but I'm sure he could play Jaina. Jaina's a good hero. Maybe we'll see some Raider. Like you can't ban those guys out. Like it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna. They're just not showing us because they don't have to. They don't have to. And then the other teams like Simplicity and things like that. All that shows me is like a team. That team is okay, mediocre. A lack of focus on what they think is good, what is consistent for them, what brings success. They haven't found that. They haven't found that style. So I don't know. If anything, third ban will help those that are already the best and hurt those that are not prepared. Whether drafting strategies, or target bans. I think Tempo Storm might suffer from the target ban, as far as the top team is concerned, because I mean, okay, Glau can maybe play Zeratul in an off lane. He plays a lot of Dehaka, Blaze, things like that. Yrel's gonna be banned a lot. I don't. It varies. So, but
I'm excited to see it, but we've got a little bit. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Me too. It's big. It's a big change, right? So
yeah. What's one pick that you think we're gonna start seeing more and more of because of this third ban? A pick that people play, not that's banned.
Like something like a hero that we're not seeing
that will all of a sudden start kind of creeping up.
Kind of like on the outside looking in.
Yeah. What's gonna pop up?
Let's see.
Chat's saying Karazim. I'm gonna go ahead and argue that Karazim is already in. He's already in, man. That guy is too good.
Like I'm trying to think of like a good out on the outside looking in hero. Just someone like.
Just throw it out there. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you say Gasla. Okay, maybe I do.
It's not Gasla. Like does someone like, I don't know, like Maev start making like a comeback? Like, do we start seeing her more? Or like,
I think Maev is good in certain conditions.
More,
I don't think we're
Li Ming.
I think Li Ming is fairly healthy right now. I'll give you mine.
Here's my thinking. My line of thinking is like I'm trying to think of like heroes that are like borderline. We see them a little bit here and there, but not a lot. Like now that there's an extra ban, it's just gonna free up like that ladder. Like, all right, this hero would have been better in this situation, but they're banned out now, so now you're next up, next man up type thing. Like kind of like how Hanzo replaced Vala, right? Like,
right.
Would we see more? Are we gonna see more Vala?
And we've seen some Vala pop up here and there.
So I'm just she's gonna be replaced by Raynor. So let's be real. So,
maybe.
So we're not.
So okay, I think Gul'dan might. Romaz in chat says Gul'dan. I agree with that. I think Gul'dan can come back up. And just think while you were kind of just going through and trying to think of something, I was reminded of maybe Lunara. Maybe Lunara might come back. I don't know.
I would like this. I really like Lunara, so
But the one that I was initially thinking of, and that I think is probably gonna creep up out of nowhere and kind of make a statement as a kind of tanky hyper carry that can do multiple things. In a sense, I'm gonna go with Cassia. I think Cassia is probably gonna pop up a little bit more, but we'll see.
That would be nice.
I like Cassia. I think she's cool thematically. So she puts out a lot of damage. She actually puts out a lot of damage. She's a lot tankier than she used to be. She's received lots of little buffs over the course of the past few patches. Could see some Cassias with a lot of these third bands coming out. It's like, okay, well, what's a good hyper carry? What do they got? Hey, Cassia actually looks okay here, and she's got different builds. Pokey, auto attack.
You need Cassia for that blind meta that's going to come because Jimmy starts carrying things up.
Yeah. But anyways, that's what I think. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well. Real quick, before we end the show, amateur scene. If you aren't already, make sure you're tuning in to the HGC Open, especially North America. North America is wild and crazy right now. A lot of good teams, a lot of upsets, a lot of like anybody's game. Honestly, in North America, go check it out. Shout out to my boys Reborn. You guys are the best in my eyes. I had a rough week this week, but we'll come back next week really strong. I know we will. But yeah, go check it out. I think the first game of the playoffs is actually going on right now on the main Blizz Heroes channel and as well as Heroes Hype. But after this, you guys should go over there and check it out. Some really cool stuff. Some interesting drafts, some high level plays, some high level feeds as well. But yeah.
Don't forget about Bush League.
And I was gonna say Bush League starting August 5th. Opening night, August 5th at 6 p.m. Pacific. No, 6. I can't. Man, I'm terrible. August 5th. More to come. It's still a long ways out. More to come. But you'll check it out. Bahgz is playing this season, right?
I am. League of Ordinary Gentlemen. We are gonna try and hold it down. We'll see.
Zexrus in chat. Come watch Team 14 undereducated children kneeling stomp everyone. I'll be casting again this season with Soken. Along with Soken, we'll be doing our thing. But yeah, come check us out, guys. Come check us out. But that is our show for this evening, guys. Thank you to everyone that's hanging out here. Thank you to everyone that listened, watched the YouTube VOD, Twitch VOD, watched it live. Thank you all for listening to Trollin HGC. This is a weekly podcast about Heroes of the Storm eSports and a member of the Trolls.gg Entertainment Network Empire regime. We stream live on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TrollsGG, every week on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, right here. Me and Bahgz, baby. Daddy left us. Hey, we're home alone. Do whatever we want. We'll be. Hopefully, we can get some guests, some interesting guests on, and have them give their spicy takes and stuff as well. If you know anybody, if anybody listening, you know, hey, if you're out there, a secret fan of the show, DM me. Make something happen. But anyways, Bahgz, where can the good people find you?
Guys, you can follow me on Twitter at BahgzHGC. You can watch me stream on twitch.tv/Bahgz. I will admit, not really streaming right now, but go ahead, give it a follow. Hoping to get back into that this winter when outdoor activities kind of cease and indoor activities increase. As well, if you enjoyed tonight's show or are interested in Blizzard's other esports offerings, consider subscribing to the Weekly Blizz, where my buddy Guaz and I cover all of Blizzard's esports and can be found on all podcast sources. Also, I forget to mention this all the time. Be sure to stick around for the after show games. I don't know if Goon has time tonight, but I will certainly be around. We're going to do some after show games. We'll get the viewers in here. We'll get some trolls in here. If we have enough, we'll do customs. If not, we'll do some unranked draft and go have some fun. So be sure to stick around for that. Goon, where can people find you?
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at GoonHots. There, I'm chatting, talking to people, posting memes, memeing on others, whatever. Give it a follow. Give me a follow out on there. You'll also know when I go live on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GoonHots. This week has been a little slow, but last week we streamed a whole bunch. This week has been a little slow. I've been doing some work stuff as well as preparing a couple projects that I have lined up. But we will be on that train this week as well. Also on the Nexus Trolls podcast, which is another podcast about Heroes of the Storm. It's more general Heroes of the Storm stuff. A lot of it is talking about like Hero League or drafts, patch notes, content that's coming in, and how do we improve as individuals and players. And Soken and Aramis, and myself, we kind of meme on each other and give each other challenges every week, and try to troll each other essentially in Hero League and other game modes and stuff. But yeah, check that out. That's every Thursday night starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can also catch the VODs. It's, like I said, another show part of the Trolls HGC Entertainment Network. YouTube, I also post some YouTube videos from time to time. GoonHots on YouTube. I did post videos. I post a lot of my Hero League games on YouTube. Some good games that are fun, comms or a weird hero pick or something like that. And I also have a show on the weekends. It's not Armchair HGC, so to speak, but it is something similar. It's not as try-hard as Armchair HGC. It's called HGC and Chill, where myself and a guest that I bring on whoever I want to bring on every week. We kind of just talk about the game, HGC game. We hang out for as long as we want. This past weekend was like an hour and a half. The weekend before that was like 4 hours. But we talk about the games, the drafts, and anything under the sun. Anything goes. The first week we talked about all kinds of crazy stuff. This past week I talked with Showtime, the solo laner for Reborn, and he kind of gave his insight as far as like solo laning techniques and stuff go. But I'm telling you, we will talk about anything. Sometimes we will like minimize the game, the HGC game, and pull up like stuff on like anything. Why dogs sniff other dogs' butts, and we'll talk about that. And then like whatever. But yeah, check it out. Also, but yeah, that's where you guys can find me. But also, make sure to go to trolls.gg. Go to the website. You can find our podcast, our VODs there from Trollin HGC, the Nexus Trolls. There's some older stuff from entry-level eSports that Trent used to do. And there's also a bunch of articles on there from our community of writers that put up a lot of good content there. The most recent article was posted a couple days ago, July 15th, on the HGC NA Open Division. Some highlights, some analysis, and things like that. Go there, support the rioters. Go check it out. You know what? I'll post the article in Twitch chat for those that are interested, and it will be in the show notes. That's the most recent article. Go check it out. There's a bunch of good stuff there. But yeah, thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the show, and if you want, you can support us in a variety of ways. We're on Patreon at patreon.com/trollsgg. Thank you to our chieftains, Preston and Slugger, and our war chiefs, William T. and Super Dave now. And you can follow us on Twitter, this show, Trollin HGC, for show announcements and Here's the Storm news. And you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, or Stitcher, and let us know how we're doing by commenting. Leave us a little thumbs up, some stars. Hey, put a comment if you want. Let us know what we can do to make the show better. Make this more appealing for you guys. And also, share with your friends. Let them know what's going on here. It's a good time here. Everyone has a good time. If you want to flame me about my picks, if you want to flame me about what I said about players, go ahead, at me, at the show. I don't care. Bring it. I'll flame you right back. But if you ever need to get in touch with either one of us or the show, our Twitter DMs are open. But Bahgz, brother, thanks for being here. Like I said, Daddy's gone. Just you and me at the house now.
Cats away and the mice will play, baby.
That's right. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to do this with you each and every week. I mean, I wish we did. I wish we could do more together, dude. Like, I want to do more. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
We shall see, man. I got my personal project.
Yeah. Of course.
Weighing me down, but I was trying to stretch out in every single way last winter. We'll see if I can do that again when things settle down.
Yeah. Whenever you got the time, man, let me know. We'll do some HGC and chill or something, dude. But yeah, anyways, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Much appreciated. Much love. Go out there, play your Hero League placements. Go finish that. Bahgz has been doing his. But until next time, see you in the Nexus. Take it easy.
Peace out.